Hey guys, Flabaliki here today and welcome back to City Skylines. Today we're pretty much doing a little bit of a time-lapse episode. I think I said I was going to do this last time. I'm not sure. But anyway, we're doing a time-lapse. This ends at like 24 and a half minutes. So if you do want to skip it, you can, but it's mostly the whole episode. So you can either skip it, go to the end, and we'll have a look at it in real time just a little bit. But until then, the idea was I've been meaning to redevelop this interchange for the longest time because we essentially have the highway running straight through Sunnyside. Like it made sense when it was a much less busy road and it was just sort of part of the small town. That was great. It was nice, but it doesn't make sense anymore. So what I've done is I actually just ripped out the entire lower road here, and I'm actually using Move It, and I'm selecting the entire interchange here and essentially just jacking it up. So I'm moving it up like another 9 meters or something so we can get another layer here, essentially. So we get a road going underneath, which is still the regular town road, and then we have the interchange that sort of just stacks directly on top of that. At least that was the idea. So, I mean, imagine trying to do this in the real world, keeping the existing interchange, but just moving it up higher. I mean, it'd probably be easier just to build tunnels underneath in real life, you know, instead of moving the whole thing up, but I didn't want to do that because I didn't like the look of that. So I did this instead. I got to say that move it tool to level all the points to the same height is like the best thing ever. And then I obviously removed the 2 entrance and exit points at that corner, which led to some interesting issues that I actually had to solve, such as, well, the tram line had to go higher because it had to now go over the road that was a little bit higher than before. I also had to figure out how to do another set of entrances and exits because we need it for this area. That was one of the good things about it, is you could enter and exit on both sides of the town and you didn't have to drive through the town, because I felt like if we directed all the traffic to one spot, it'd probably be a little too busy. And so I wanted to make sure that we had the proper infrastructure in place. So I spent a lot of time just trying to get that to work. And you can see that tram line is still there. That still looks all right. And then, so this part here is just a matter of connecting all the ramps up to where they were before, and trying to get it all fit in nice and neatly. And then I had to make sure, because I also disconnected that bridge that goes over the train line, which you can't really see at the moment, but we'll see a little bit more of in just a second. I disconnected that because that was also a stupid error. Like, we had all these 90-degree turns onto a highway. Not a great thing to have on a highway. I don't think so. Yeah, I spent a little time trying to redesign all of it. And I tell you what, it definitely becomes somewhat of a spaghetti junction as we move forward, but I think it totally works. So, which is good. So I'm just adjusting this little ramp because it was that ramp there. We actually designed it, I think, originally to go around. I think there's some buildings there that we decided to move the ramp around and take it all the way up further up. So it didn't need to quite be like that anymore. So I moved it in a little bit closer and just joined it directly to the highway there. And that worked out quite nicely, which is a good news for us. So I guess so here's the thing, like, we have the train line on the other side of this highway, which is always a bit of a challenge because originally, like I said before, we had that road just coming through the town. That was fine. But this train line's always been separated from the rest of the residential, which I guess is a good thing because then you'd have the noise sort of moved away a little bit at the very least. But it's probably not the most convenient thing when you have to cross a highway where cars are driving full speed and you only had level crossings to do so. So I decided to change it up. So this was originally just a tram bridge going over the highway, but I've upgraded it into just a regular road. So now that is a road that accesses the other side as well, which is super, super handy. Then we have this little road here that I'm building in. So we used to have that bridge slightly further along, and then it connected directly to the highway, which that road obviously no longer does, but I've just connected it up to the train station there to add some access to it. Now I'm just doing the exits from the highway because we got to do the entrance and the exit in multiple points. Well, 2 points. There's 2 entrances. Oh, actually, no. There's, I guess, 4 entrances. Wait, yeah. Yeah, because we do 2 entrance and exit points. We have the entrance and exits here by Sunnyside, and then we have the ones on the other side by the industrial area and waterfront for all of that kind of stuff. Actually, I guess there's 3. You know what? There's a lot. There's a lot of connections through this area, which I think is good because we definitely need. There's a lot of traffic. Deceptively, there's a lot of traffic that flows through here. It might not seem like there's a huge amount, but there is. So you gotta be prepared for it. So just getting a new entrance lane right here from this little tram road, because I thought that was probably the easiest place to chuck one in. We already had stuff in the area, like we already had the roads and some ramps there, so just adding a little entrance was pretty easy. Now I was trying here to figure out the best way to get entrances and exits. Like I was like, oh well, okay, that's a really easy entrance to do. But then I was thinking, hang on, I also need I need an entrance and I need an exit in this one area, because that's what we used to have, and that worked really, really well, because it meant you could jump off the highway there, get straight to the industrial and commercial space, and you could also enter it. Now, so the only way I could figure out how to do it with enough space was to actually go like this. So we have this sort of exit ramp coming off, and one branch then sort of loops around and over the tram line, because the trams then have to go down and under. This then goes over it and over the train line, and it curves in and around, and it's just like it's this big spaghetti junction. But I think it looks kind of cool. I think it kind of works. So we bring that down, and then the other one that I just built out just joins underneath to the train station side of the rail. So that's no worries there. And then this one. This is now, I believe, what was that going to be? Oh, that's the entrance. Yeah, because I wanted the entrance to come after the exit, so that that traffic doesn't interfere with each other. So that sort of goes all the way underneath here. And I'm using Mover just to make it as neat as possible. So it's sort of just tuck it underneath there. And you can see why I did this as a time lapse. Like, we could have done this in the episode, but not only would I be going like, oh no, that's not what I want. Oh, let me just make that a little bit, it would have been that in the entire episode. So I was like, I'll just record this, we'll get it done, and then we'll be good to go. Now, I am actually questioning, and I did think about this in the time as well, this exit ramp I'm just building now, that big loop. I don't know if we should keep it, because I don't know if there's a huge reason for it. And I think it's, I'll be honest, it's probably the least attractive ramp in this area. And if we got rid of it, it'd probably look a lot neater. And the reason I think we might be able to get away without having it is because we have that whole section of the highway that goes directly into the industrial area. Like this, that's the whole point, is the interchange. And that exit is only like a block away from it. And I only realized this after I spent all the time building it, and I zoomed out and I looked at it and I'm like, we probably could have just used that exit that was already there. So I don't know. Maybe I might get rid of that one and see how it goes, because I think all the other ramps look okay. Like I don't think it's bad, or I like it, but I think that one that goes over the tram line is probably the least attractive of the ramps. So I'm not sure. Might have a look at that. So I'm just trying to tuck in a bunch of these ramps here, because I needed to get the exit here out and then have it. Where is this going? Oh yeah, because I needed this one. I needed this to have two exit points. I needed to have one exit here, like the original, and then I needed the other exit further on the other side of the train line. Again, like the original, because that's actually useful, because then you have the two exits that sort of serve the residential part of Sunnyside and then the industrial commercial side of it, which is really really good. So that's what I'm trying to do now, and that just essentially just comes around this corner here like that, and then goes over the train line and joins straight onto the road. And I think that looks super neat. Like it like matches along with the highway, looks pretty good. And then I'm doing a entrance here to the highway, because again, I needed to figure out how to get up, because we needed an entrance into the same place. Because I think this we probably want to keep. I don't want to force all traffic to use that industrial, especially the industrial entrance, because that's already actually quite busy with that cargo hub right there, and that does attract a lot of traffic. So I think this is fine, but I don't know. I think the other exit ramp maybe we don't need. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool, sweet. Moving on. Didn't take too long. Now for the rest of this time lapse, we're actually working on the university that we started. I guess, was it last episode? I mean, I think we started slightly like we had last episode where we worked on it more, but I think I planned it out almost a little bit before that, right? Because we built like the dorm area, which was actually just high density residential, and then I started building up the top here. So I'm trying to figure out which road I want to use for the industrial area. You guys, industrial area, the university area. I mean, it could be an industrial university. It's not, but it could be. But you guys suggested in the comments, and it was pretty popular, to just use like a road that doesn't have trees on it, because we have a lot of trees around it anyway, so it should be fine. Now, I don't know. Actually, I really like this road. That sort of boulevard road that I just put in, which we'll see more of in a minute. So don't worry that it's disappeared. I really like it, but it has an annoying glitchy crossing on it. And it makes me not want to use it at all, but it looks so good. And I decided to not use it in the end. You guys also suggested to put in some car parks here around the observatory, which makes a lot of sense, so we really should. So I just put in 3 of these 2x4 parking lots. And I also decided to litter the area with way more of the park people generators. As you guys suggested, and we really do attract a whole bunch of people to the area. And I do put a lot of these up the top as well on the little observation lookout area, which we'll see a little bit later on in the build. But yeah, I did a lot of stuff in this episode of just building up the university and putting a bunch of buildings in. Also, all these people, all those cars just pulling up and just stopping, and I don't know what they're doing. They could have just gone to the car park. It would have been fine. So what I decided to do here, because the road is already sloping, I decided to like smooth out the entire hillside. So we had like a completely smooth slope all the way down. And here is where I'm just trying out different center points down the end of this area. I tried out the biodome. I was thinking maybe we could have a biodome at the end. And then in the end, I just decided to go for the little statue that I think we had a look at last time. It's like that horse statue, the man on the horse. Because I thought that's kind of a good centerpiece. You look down the end of the road, it's got a... Because the thing is, I wanted something that looked cool, that didn't block the view at the same time, but it should also still be interesting. So that's why this statue was good, because it's not huge, so it's not blocking the view from down the road, but it also is... interesting. So I went with that. And then I'm just almost making like a little, little quad kind of design, a little quadrangle area, even though it's not a quadrangle because it has a big curved pathway on one side. But you know what I mean? Trying to make it like a little plaza type of place there with a few paths around. And then I actually add a bunch of the park people generators here, like I said earlier, and loads of people visit. Also, this hill right here, by the way, which I spent so long on last episode, it was like messed up. I'm like, no. I think when I smoothed out the entire cliff, it actually it ruined it. And I was like, no, it looked so good. Anyway, I sort of finessed it a little bit and it worked out okay in the end. So these I'm putting in, I think, how many did I do? Oh my God, I did a lot of them. Basically, I was trying to get a lot of people to come here and chill out at the at the statue. And I put a lot of these people there. Actually, one really sad thing is, even after all that time I spent on building that pathway to get up here, no one uses it. No one, not a single person. Everyone drives, and it's really sad, but oh well. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out how to connect this road, and I don't want the university to be one straight road. So I was trying to figure out how I get around that. So I'm just trying to build that road coming up, and then we have, I guess this is where we have a proper quad. We have like nice quadrangle here up the top to have as I guess the main building here will be on the other side of the quad, and then that looks all the way down the road, and you can see the view from down there. And that's like the top of the university, and then we have a few branches coming off, which you'll see later on. We do build a whole sporting district and all that as well. Yeah, see that crosswalk there? How it doesn't go all the way across. Oh, that annoyed me so much. That annoyed me. I was like, maybe I could live with it. Maybe it'll be fine. It wasn't fine, and I eventually changed it. But anyway, for now it's there. It looks good. It's a good looking road, and I like that it has like a path and a bike lane in the middle, so you can go like super fast. But they let me down. They let me down on that annoying crosswalk that doesn't work. Those sad times. Oh, this road here, by the way, I keep rebuilding it because it's not smooth. It keeps having this big ugly bump in the middle of it. So I was trying my best to fix it. I eventually got there. So just clearing out some trees there so we can get the space. Yeah, there's all our spare buildings up to the side there. So this one, I actually have the university bell tower thing that I downloaded. It came as part of the other set, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's just chuck that in there because that's kind of cool. It almost looks like a slightly kind of modern design because obviously this is a very contemporary university. It's very new. All the buildings are very modern and all that kind of looking. So it's not supposed to be a traditional looking university at all. Whereas, I mean, this bell tower kind of is. It kind of has like the bricks to it, but it also looks a little interesting. Like it maybe does have a kind of more modernish design. So I think it works kind of well. Yeah, I have nothing else to say on that. I got completely stuck and I've run out. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. No, yeah, so I think that actually tied in quite well. And here's where I decided to add more park people generators down the bottom because I wanted people hanging the other side. I was hoping I could get them to walk up the top. They never did. They never wanted to walk up that pathway. I don't know, maybe it's not connected fully along the way. I'll have to check it at some point. But yeah, I did a couple of parking lots down the bottom there just to finish it off as well. But now I'm trying to figure out what I do with this university, whether I just have all these buildings lining the road. Because we've got the university, we have the... I don't remember what all these buildings are specifically. But there's like the aeronautics one, which I think is that building right there, which I moved later on to its own area. And then we have... I don't remember what that other fancy building on the left is. I don't know, but there's a whole bunch of special buildings that we sort of put around the place to make it look interesting. So I decided to change it just to a really simple road here, just the road, the large avenue with the grass median strip, because I thought that looked quite good. And then just moving all these buildings around the place. So I decided to move the aeronautics down there on an offshoot of its own, because I felt like it's a big building. Maybe it should have a nice special place. And then I got a couple of buildings here just on the other side of the quad because I wanted to feel like it was alive a little bit. And I think I might even add a little bit more zoning to the area, like some more commercial and that. Because at the moment, we don't really have... I zoned a little bit of commercial up here, but I mean, it makes absolute sense that a university should have some stores somewhere on campus. Like there should be something. Like the one I went to, they had a whole little shopping center there, like specifically on the campus. Like it wasn't huge, but it was like a little strip of stores, like a post office and all that kind of stuff. So I think it makes sense. Maybe I should do a more of a little downtown area. I mean, I kind of do a little later on, which you'll see in a bit. Anyway, so this is the sporting area. If you can't tell already, we got baseball, we got the indoor gymnasium thing, whatever it is. I don't know what it was actually. That indoor one. I don't know what it's actually called, but that indoor sporting center. And then we have the swimming pool over there on the avenue. And then I'm trying to fit in the soccer stadium. Which, by the way, I don't think we have many of those in the city. I think we must have one or two somewhere. I don't know where they are, but we definitely don't have many of them. And then I'm just making sure that I actually have a road at the back of this library because I don't know why. I mean, it's cool that whoever built this added parking spots there, but it's really annoying that they're at the back because it means I always have to have a road there. Otherwise, it looks stupid. It's just sad. That's all. Anyway, so making sure everything has power and water. Well, we're far from done, by the way. Don't worry. I'm just getting that water in right now just because I figured we should probably get that added in. We have so many people that are driving in from down the bottom across that little bridge near the observatory, and it really annoyed me. Like, I really didn't like it, and I actually changed it later on. So here, I wanted to build almost like a little tennis club. I was like, I could use these little tennis courts and make my own club out of it. So I decided to level out some more space here next to the baseball field and the soccer stadium. That's the one. And I was like, okay, let's build like a little custom kind of tennis club here. So we'll get all these in and see what we can do with them. And that's that there. And then I was like, all right, let's move them closer together because they're all pretty small. And I did that. And then I was like, actually, you know what? This totally does not work because all these little soccer, what am I saying? All these tennis courts have trees on them. If they didn't have trees, it'd work. So then I left that and I went to the workshop. There's a bunch more tennis courts, and I was like, well, if I'm just downloading a new thing from the workshop for tennis courts, I might as well just get the actual tennis club. So that's what I did instead. And we place that in just a minute. At the moment, I'm trying to fix that annoying bump in the road. Instead, what I did is I just built a new road there. So that's just a small little offshoot road there as well, which I actually put some housing on it. So I did some more, housing around campus too. So, but some more dorm. Well, those wouldn't be dorms, but student housing here and there. It's around campus. So just opposite I think it's the aeronautics area. I did a couple of biodomes because I thought that'd be kind of cool. It's kind of like the science area of the campus. So maybe we have a few of those here and there. Just next to that. And it's just a whole little area all for it. I was trying to find... if there's any more buildings or things that you think would fit in the area, please do let me know because I'm open to adding more stuff. See, that one there that I just placed is actually, I think it's like a cryogenic freezing building. So it takes deceased citizens and freezes them in there until a time in the future where they can be defrosted and brought back to life. So that's what they basically like a crematorium or something like that, but not burning them. We just freeze them and keep them. So it's I guess it's kind of halfway between a cemetery and a crematorium in a way, because it has a storage capacity, but it also doesn't burn them. What? Yeah, that's exactly what a cryogenic freezing lab is. Yeah, so this is the tennis club. No, it's not. Sorry, I'm actually putting in the horse thing first, whatever it's called. I don't know, what is this building? I've completely blanked on the name for it. Anyway, so I put that in there because I thought that'd be good. So, I mean, I feel like the university should have basically a little bit of everything. That's what I was trying to do, is get every sport here. I even got a skate park in there. It's like, I mean, if we build a skate park, we'll encourage the students to use that more than, ripping up the roads and all that. So we'll say, hey, go here instead of skateboarding on some other buildings and stairs and all that and other rails. Look, we've built your whole place. Go there, do the tricks, and stay. Get off my lawn, you rotten kids. That kind of thing. So we encourage them to go there. And also, I totally recognize that people don't skateboard on lawns, but that was more just to have a bit of fun. So don't look too closely into it. And then we get the athletics field as well there, with the nice running track all the way around. Like, we're really going to town. We're getting everything. And now I think am I finally putting in the tennis? After that, like, I tried to build it ages ago, and I was like, let me just get the tennis in. And then I eventually got around to it. A big part of this was also just because I am doing so much terraforming. It was actually just like smoothing it all out, leveling everything to make it look like it is still part of the mountain. Like, because I wanted to have it obviously on top of this whole mountain area. I still don't even know if is it even really a mountain on top of this hill. I want it perched up here, and I wanted it to still look like it was sort of naturally following the landscape. And for a large part it is, but obviously for a lot of these buildings, because they are so big, we actually need a lot of level space to be able to build them. So thankfully we have the terrain tool, so I smoothed out a lot of it, and I think it actually, like, it looks fine. Like, it looks just part of the mountain or the hill or whatever you want to call it. It looks part of it. So I think it looks like it's at least sitting up there quite naturally. So this area over here, I was adding a bunch more roads, and this is where I zone in a little bit of commercial, and I also get out some more residential for the area too. I was going to do that botanical garden, but there wasn't really any space for it. In the end, I was like, well, why am I doing this? If I start adding this, I'm going to start adding more stuff, and it's like, what is the point? So just adding in some zoning for houses here, like smaller sized houses, not the full 4x4. And then here I actually did high density commercial, which I think I might change. Oh, actually, no, I won't, because we do have a high rise ban on this district. If we do, it will be fine. If we don't, I need to add a high-rise ban, because I don't want huge skyscrapers here. I don't mind like the larger sort of multi-story commercial buildings, but I want to make sure they're not huge, because it's not supposed to be like a city. I also want it almost like a little town center for the university in a way. Like I was talking about earlier, just have like a shopping center kind of area. And that's kind of what that is. And then I'm just here setting up some bus lines that go through the university. So this is the main one that sort of runs down the main avenue and then actually goes around. It essentially tries to hit all of the facilities in the university. So we try to go through all the sporting area. We try to go down to the science / engineering area, even though it's not really. It's just the aeronautics one. And even still, it's not really. It is just a... all the universities in this game are the same. By the way, look at that bridge right there going across in front of the observatory. There's so many cars on it. It's actually insane. Like you'll see. So actually that bus line, if you look at it just then, it's not exactly the most efficient, because it's a big Z that just zigzags all the way back and forth. So I decided to add a second bus line that is much more direct, that goes directly through the middle of it. So you could get this one if you wanted to get across campus quickly, or the other one if you need to get somewhere specific, you just jump on that and it'll take you around everywhere. Yeah, this bridge here, I really dislike the look of that. So actually built in that road there, the additional one. I lowered the speed limits on these because I didn't want them to be 100 kilometers an hour. And then I actually set a vehicle restriction on that bridge, which I haven't done yet, but I do set one on it that this allows vehicles basically other than emergency. I think I allow buses on it too, but we don't have any bus lines using it. I think I did emergency vehicles and buses, and then everything else has to use the other university roads. Because I felt like it's good having, it'd be good having a connection for the university there, but it's just way too many people use it, and I really, it was putting me off, if I'm gonna be honest. But that's pretty much it here for the time lapse. So let's jump into the game real quick and have a look at everything. Okay, so here we are in game, and you can see this. We'll just have a look at the interchange first. Running through here, I mean. God, running well, as you can quite plainly tell. As soon as we load in, there was an issue right there. Fantastic. No, for the most part, it is. I don't know. That was just an anomaly. For the most part, it works perfectly fine. It's like it's way better than before. Like if you stood here for any amount of time before, you'd watch these sort of crossroads hitting this highway. You'd stop, and then you'd have vehicles driving straight across, like straight across here, which is awful. So I've changed that. Now, yeah, I am considering, so what I was mentioning in the time lapse, I was considering getting rid of this lane because we have the other lane that said if you follow this one here, it comes up and around and just joins here, which realistically is like a block away. It's like, here's this one, that one's there. You could just get to it like doing that. And there's nothing on this road anyway, so the only difference is you're here instead of here, realistically. So I don't think we need that. And I think, what I might do, let me have a look. How many people use this? There is quite a lot of people that use it. And I think most people using this one are probably all just going to the industrial. I think it's worth... Look, here's what we'll do. We'll disconnect the last bit, just that, because that's very easy to put back in as a test. We'll test out. We'll see if this becomes too much. Like, I think maybe this intersection here is a bit dodgy, but I believe we did set up the ability... Oh, whoops. The ability for them to enter the intersection anyway if there's something there. Yeah, so that, I mean, that shouldn't be too bad. So I hope that they should be able to roll through there without too much of an issue. Like, we'll see how we go. Look, we'll keep an eye on that. The other thing I did was over here, I removed... There used to be a road going across here, and I think there was another one maybe up here, further up. Oh, actually there still is. No, I kept that one. No, this one was a little different, because this is just a U-turn, I think. I don't think it goes straight across, does it? Oh, maybe they could. I don't know. Anyway, well, whatever. I removed the one down here because that was a huge issue. Like, I mean, look how much traffic we have here already, and then cars would come here, and then what was happening is this car would pull out. They'd pull out here. They'd wait here, wait here, wait here, blocking all that. Then eventually go. And I was doing that both ways. So I moved that. I did an exit down here and an entrance just here. And then obviously these guys can still enter and exit on this little section of road here. So instead, if you want to get, if you want to exit and come over here to this area, you just go here and come around. And then that's been working fine. No issues at all. The other thing I did, if we watch here, I actually added in a set of traffic lights, and I did custom timed ones. So they only change, the lights only change when a tram pulls up. It'll change for like a second, like literally 1 second. It will let the tram go across, then the traffic will go. Because, I mean, first of all, this tram is cutting across 2 lanes for highway traffic, so it seemed maybe a little safer to have a set of lights. Also, it just looked a bit neater. When I had it there before, cars would run into it. Unfortunately, I can't do the same thing here because obviously they're all coming from the same road, and you can't do a set of traffic lights per lane, which... no, I don't think you can. If you can, let me know, but I don't think you can. But otherwise, I totally would, because that'd be great to... stop the 2 lanes of the cars and let the tram go. Just so this doesn't cut across. And the same thing up here. Obviously, again, I couldn't do it here because it's the same situation. I can't stop them. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. Anyway, so I did that. I also did, obviously, the whole university. There it is. Oh, I set up timed traffic. I don't know how well they're working, though. I set up timed traffic lights here on the interchange as well, the diamond interchange. So essentially, right now that this light's green, this direction here is green, and this one here. So if you're here, if you're sitting here, you can drive all the way through right now because it's green, and then it just flicks around the other way and does that one. So that's sort of more in sync now. So that means essentially I can let the guys, like these cars here, I can let them queue up across this intersection, which previously I couldn't do because it would block this traffic moving in. But I mean, if all the traffic stopped anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they stop there and then go afterwards. And actually, it seems to work quite well. Like, there hasn't been any issues yet, so that's good news. And then anyway, the whole university area, here it is here. I think it looks really cool. Especially when we jump into, like, the cinematic camera mode. I think we need to do a little bit more thing. I didn't really know what to do with this area here. Like, I got a weird section of the lookout. I need to add a few more items here and there, but for the most part, I think it looks really, really cool. Like, especially, like, you look down this road here, looking up to the university that way. I think that looks awesome, even with this, like, little... lookout point there. You got those trees that I lined up there, and then obviously we have all the buildings along here. We've got the buses running, which I believe the buses are super popular. Then we look from this direction and you get the city. Like how cool would that be to stand up here, get that view, and then obviously if you're down over here at the actual lookout point, can I get lower, please? Oh, well, actually, you know what? Yeah, this I zoomed in a lot on this the camera mode, but yeah, you get this view, this huge like panoramic view if you're standing here. You can see the zoo from here in the middle over there. You get to see all the suburbs out that way. That's Sedona City. And then, well, yeah, Sedona City. And then we got New Sedona just here, the little larger buildings, industrial out over that way. It's a cool view that you get from up here. And then obviously the observatory here, which is a lot of people hanging out at, as you can quite plainly see. We got a bit of crime here. Oh no, what a shame. Anyone on that bus? Probably not, I'm going to guess. I can't even click on it, so that's good news for me. Oh, there we go. I had to click escape. This one, 130 people on that bus. Yeah, it gets packed. It absolutely gets packed. And I believe that this cable car is being used a lot more now. 278 people using it. There's 30 people going down on that one. No, there's 0 people coming up. I was hoping there's going to be 30 coming up. But yeah, a lot more people use it now, which is pretty cool. 30 people coming up at the moment as well. I think we need to do something along these roads. Either turn them into just highway roads without pathways, or I think I need to zone something on them because, or just put something there because it looks a bit, like it looks completely blank. It's a little strange. Or maybe just put trees there or something. I don't know. It looks a bit weird. So I'll do something with that. But yeah, that is the university area, I guess, so far. I don't know what else to do at the moment. And I think we did enough. Like, we put everything where it's going to go, which is cool. And we also, I did zone here, but these houses have not built at all for whatever reason. I think maybe, I don't know. I think they're really snobby because they have a lot, they have garbage, they have medical, they have death care, they have fire coverage. The other thing they don't really have is police coverage. Even though there's a police station right here, it doesn't reach. They also don't have elementary or high schools, which I guess might be a factor. But they have public transport. They have like literally the entire university is almost all parks. So they definitely have parks. They, yeah, I don't know. They're really, really picky. No one wants to build there. There's people built over here though. Anyway, I'm going to leave this part here. So leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. We'll be back next time. I think we might go back over and do a bit more building over here because I want to continue this area. Maybe even do a proper industrial space up here and another highway entrance or something. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time and have an awesome day.